Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. And yes, this becomes important. But first, let me tell you a story. So when our daughter Sarah was about 3, maybe 4 years old, she was young. She learned that you can sing, and she started singing. The problem is she had a limited repertoire of songs. And she might get like E-I-E-I-O. She might get Jesus Loves Me. Actually, I don't even think she necessarily had that. She might have had that. But because she had such a limited retinue of songs, she would start to make up her own songs. And she would be singing whatever came into her mind as an appropriate song. Now, the melodies were hard to discern, except for the fact that as she reached the end of the song, she would have this monumental crescendo as she built up to this higher and much louder note. So we were on a family vacation one time. I think we were in Colorado, and we were driving in the car, and Sarah was back in her place. Now she's the youngest of 5, and she's just singing. And she's making up these songs. And the songs would be songs generally about her family, because that's what she knew. And so she would sing, I love my daddy, I love my brother, I love my sisters, I love my mother. And then the big crescendo line, but not the dentist. She loved everybody but the dentist. And I think when she went to the dentist, all she did is sit in the little chair and have him or open her mouth and have him look to see that her teeth were coming in right. I mean, what dental care do you have to a 3 or 4 year old, assuming everything's okay? She did not love the dentist. Now, I tell you that story because today in my quiet time, I was reading from an Old Testament prophet named Amos. And this is the original famous Amos. But this Amos had a passage in the 5th chapter where God says to the people that he will give them cleanness of teeth. And if you're not paying attention to what you're reading, it almost looks like God's a dentist. But that's not what God means. That's not what the passage is really talking about. So what does God mean, I'll give you cleanness of teeth? And why would that be relevant today? Now we get back to my, protein bar. That's a pretty good protein bar. 12 grams of protein, so it's not like a ton, but it's only 200 calories, and it really tastes good, and that's what makes it good. The problem is, it's got these little pieces that can get stuck in your teeth. And if I eat this, I don't have cleanness of teeth. I gotta go brush, I gotta floss or water pick to get everything out from my teeth after eating this really scrumptious protein bar. And so I'm thinking God gives cleanness of teeth, but that's not a good thing in the Amos 5 passage. Because if you continue to read, he says you're not gonna have anything to eat. Your teeth, the cleanness of teeth, is a reference to the fact that God's gonna see you in famine. You're not going to have food. You say, well, what kind of God would do that? Oh, he wasn't doing it without warning everybody. He warned everybody, and he said, hey, here's the deal. If you walk in my blessings, I will bless you. But if you walk outside of my blessings and choose to do the things that bring curses, I will curse you. And it's not because I'm mean, it's because I want to drive you back into my blessings. It's like God's blessings are an umbrella. And when we walk with him in his will and it rains, the rain doesn't get us in the umbrella. But if we step out of the umbrella, he's going to let it rain on us so that we're smart enough to get back under the umbrella. So he says, I'm going to give you clean teeth, not because he's a dentist. He says, I'm going to give you clean teeth. You won't have something to eat because it's going to drive you back to me so that you look to me to provide for you. Well, I want to be driven back to God, not by famine, but by my own sense that says I need to stay under the umbrella of his protection. I need to stay in close fellowship with him. So let's think about this today, because this is a day where we can choose to walk in godliness with his blessings, or outside of godliness with all that that brings. And that'll be my crescendo to go with Sarah's song, because this is your video thought for the day.